Freedom Secrets podcast. I'm going to say that again for YouTube.
There we go.
Welcome back to the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. This is episode 117. And because it's Thursday, we know it's a move day. And yeah, we're getting into another powerful element of the Freedom Five, which is the holistic healing system that allows us to reach our goals in alignment with holistic freedom and one day at a time, just by doing 5 things. Yeah. Yay! So we are talking about something pretty cool today. It is all about...
I'm Coach Soul.
Oh, yeah. Who are we? Coach Soul, Coach Tensi. We are Ufulu child. Ufulu means freedom. Yes. So today's topic is finding your workout flow. So we're talking about high intensity workouts, low intensity. We're talking about grounding. Okay.
Today is cool because it's episode 117, right? 117. When I got my phone from the charger, it was on 77%. And when I woke up, my little space heater, my little heater thing, was set to 77 degrees by mistake because I hit a button when I wasn't looking. My eyes closed, I was asleep. I hit a button and it changed it from just like a regular setting that says high to 77. So 77, 117. It's cool stuff.
Word. And I don't know if you watching look into numerology at all, but numbers have patterns and they can help tell the story of what's going on in life. So
I win, you lose.
That's not how this goes. Good joke. But yeah, this is pretty cool because I got this question the other day. Yesterday, the question came up of, okay, so how am I supposed to, and I'm paraphrasing the question, how am I supposed to fit in a high intensity workout before or after work when I am trying, I'm doing my best to apply all the things. And this particular client is fasting and eating in accordance to that guide that we shared yesterday, just, focusing on foods that are supporting her healing. And it has been a challenge to really hone in on the high intensity workouts.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dispel the myth. What does it mean? What does it really mean to be sleepy? Only sleepy. So I'm gonna pass the microphone to you with the shabu bam. I guess she's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, are you chill? Okay. All right. So, like Coach Tensi said, today we're going to talk about the difference between high and low intensity workouts. We're going to talk about how to squeeze in or how to work into your routine workouts. And we're going to talk about what's important when you work out. So what's important so that you can have a general understanding, and of course, on different specific days and different specific parts of your cycle, there are nuances that will influence what the actualized session looks like, workout session looks like. But today is a good broad overview day for the podcast. So first of all, high intensity versus low intensity is a little self-explanatory, and also there's some pro tips, I guess, we can get into. High intensity is when you push your body to work really hard, right? Running fast, jumping, whatever, lifting heavier. Low intensity is slower, gentler, walking, stretching, doing yoga. And where the nuance lies is as you get stronger, as you get more limber, as you get more in tune with your body, what used to be very high intensity for you will now, will first become medium, and then depending on what it is, might even be low intensity for you, right? Especially if you're not there for too long, doing the exercises for too long. And so as you progress, it's about listening to your body. And I think that's a really important point that a lot of people sometimes miss because they're either following instructions. And so they think high intensity means this much weight, this fast, this type of movement.
And
But really, it means what's intense for your
you.
body to go through when you get to sweating and breathing hard.
So some way to tell the difference between high and low intensity, because it is very individual. One person can be doing something where they're not jumping up and down, but they're still getting a high intensity workout, and another person could be doing something where they're doing like they're jumping and they're doing all the things, but their workout ends up being more of a medium intensity for them. So high intensity is like you're out of breath. So when you're breathing really hard and you're feeling your heartbeat fast, and you might sweat or you might not, but you'll likely
you'll sweat in high intensity. You might sweat a whole lot, or you might not sweat a whole lot, but you'll definitely sweat some.
Word. So high intensity, just think you're bringing yourself to the point of like really needing to dig deep to breathe, because you was out of breath, or you was about to be out of breath, keeping up. With low intensity, on the other hand, it has more of it sounds like what it is. So you feel more relaxed, but you're still active, but you can still talk while you're exercising.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not to the point of being like, you can get a sentence out that it sounds kind of normal, okay? Yeah, you're not breathing like that. Okay. Ready? So I'm pretty sure Soul's coming back. So both are important because
don't be wilding out because you think I left. I ain't going nowhere. I got the water bottle.
So both are important. Some people think that it's only important to do high intensity workouts, and that's not the case, because your body, especially as a woman, you need variety. And so when we talked about that guide yesterday, one of the things on the guide was talking about how in different aspects of your cycle, you'll focus on different sorts of movement, like in your power phases, days 1 to 10-ish, days 16 to 19-ish. That's when you focus in on cardio. So this can be depending on what you're needing in a given time. It could be either high intensity or low intensity, or somewhere in between. So really it comes down to you. You can't just do a workout that says high intensity and not customize it to your needs and expect to get the most effective workout for you. So when we're talking about intensity, there is one, high intensity will help you to build strength. It'll help to strengthen your heart. It will help you burn more calories quicker, and calories are just units of energy. It's just bits of energy. It'll help you utilize energy from your food. That's really where the calories are coming from. Okay.
And lower intensity work.
Yeah, that was actually it. Yeah, go ahead.
And lower intensity workouts will help you reduce stress, improve your flexibility, and
potentially
recover from some sort of, if you're recovering, if your wrist, your whatever, your hips.
Or you just did a really intense workout and you sore.
It'll help you recover from blunt trauma experiences that your body is recovering from. Low intensity workouts help with recovery, as well as getting you started in a energetic elevation. So you wake up, get yourself ready to, get in your morning routine. And a part of your morning routine, let's say, is a low intensity workout.
Like maybe you go for a walk outside or something like that, or maybe you stretch.
Yep. What you may find is that during the day, you have a clearer mind and more stored up, or at least ready to activate energy to do your daily tasks. Whereas, let's say, you wake up, you don't have much of a routine, and you just sort of get up and get to it without any low intensity workout, you may find that everything is very tiring and draining and it feels different. So getting into the day with a low intensity workout is awesome. Also, for you couples out there, morning is a great time for a low intensity workout, for a low to mid intensity workout with your partner. Okay? Because that will also get you into, the day with not only these reduced stress and whatnot benefits, but also some now endorphins and oxytocins and stuff. Y'all know what I'm saying. We got a baby in the room.
Okay.
Okay, you do a low to mid intensity workout with your partner in the morning to get you started to, before,
Word. Thank you, Coach. So shout out for staying connected with your partner in your relationship as well. Something else, like if you're looking for some high intensity options, and of course we already talked about customizing it to you, but let's say if we're talking about cardio and you have 10 minutes, okay, you can put on 2 of your favorite songs that are hype, okay, that'll get you dancing, and just dance for the duration of that song or two. Maybe like even get into make it a game of trying to move as many parts of your body as you can and incorporate that into your dance. One, maybe if you have a one of your songs be I don't know if you like soca is also always hype. Don't listen to soca all the time. However, whatever the genre is, it doesn't really matter. But the point is that you're enjoying what you're doing and you are getting your heart rate up. So dancing could be awesome. Dancing can also be low intensity, as you mentioned in another podcast. Like you can make it feel like an interpretive dance, okay, where you slowed it down and you're really just noticing and breathing into your movements and letting your breath be your guide. Taking that time to connect and notice what's going on in your body and your energy levels can be amazing for the low intensity days. A chill song, meditative music, maybe,
So next thing we wanted to tap into, I feel like there's no easy way to transition into it, but is also related to something you could do in the morning, especially for you working moms that work from home. Okay. Or men, if you work from home, this is a lot more, it's more seamless to sort of fit this into your morning routine versus like your evening or afternoon after work routine. Is grounding, aka earthing, aka touching the earth's, soil and grass and or sand, dirt with your skin, with your bare skin, right? Obviously, walking in the grass or on the sand is the easiest way to do so. And then there's also walking on your hands. Just kidding. There's going and sitting out and journaling, and just having your feet rest on the grass, on the dirt, on the sand. Um, doing some journaling.
Gardening
There's
is
gardening with your
an
hands. Yep.
example. If you go for like a hike or something, then if you have some shoes that don't have a rubber sole, maybe it's leather bottoms to your shoes, then you can utilize those and go out. If you are
Or just when you make it to the summit, or you make it to the campground or whatever, you can just get some barefoot time in with the surface.
One of the things that this is good for is, one, it helps your body to relax, because the earth's surface itself, it has this really cool energy balancing aspect to it. It's kind of like you're recharging your body, like you're putting your body like you put your phone on a charger. It's like you're charging your body, because literally, especially if you can get in 20 minutes, your body is absorbing uh, something called electrons, which if you remember back in, I don't know, elementary school, when we were talking about what an atom is and what
Middle
the
school.
components are. Okay, middle school, thank you. Yeah. um there is this thing called an electron, and it's electric. and,
Boogie, oogie, oogie.
and basically in our bodies, whenever we have we hear a doctor talk about free radicals in the body, especially if you have an autoimmune condition, and how we want to make sure that we're reducing free radicals. That basically means that there are your body, the atoms in your body are trying to grab electrons from healthy cells and messing up healthy cells to damage them, because your body is at kind of like you have a nutrient deficiency, where you're not getting enough nutrients, and then it's throwing your body out of whack and making your cells unhealthy. That's the same thing when it comes to the electrons. So the earth is giving you free electrons in abundance, a lot. And when the more that you ground, and whether you're putting your hands or your feet or even laying down, really hands, feet, and your head have the largest pores. So however you can do that, it gives your body the electrons it needs in order to stay in balance. So what
are some tips for those of you who are like me, who just will never ever just be walking barefoot in the grass because you don't like the feeling?
You looking for poo.
Like, yeah, you don't want to step in no doo-doos. Spiders, whatever. I don't know. I'm not afraid of the bugs. I'm more so like looking for poop, like she said, and I don't like the feeling of dirt, sand, grass on my feet.
Too.
I don't like it.
If it's not painted or concrete, you can also
because that's sand.
So what do you do then?
What are some tips? So one of the tips, like she said, is getting shoes specifically for grounding, and these shoes will have leather soles. They won't have rubber. They won't have dead soles. So plastic and rubber will not be the makeup of the bottom of the shoe.
Or they could have, there's some shoes that don't necessarily have those particular materials, but they have this, like, I don't know if you've ever seen an earthing shoe where it has this metal part that attaches on the inside and on the bottom of the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays you can get that. Hey girl, where you going?
Trying to go outside and ground? You trying to go earthing out the window?
You can actually get one of these things maybe online, and just attach it to your shoe, especially if you have a sandal or something like that. But they do make shoes that they look stylish, they look regular, but
Mhm.
they have that metal part that still keeps you connected to the earth. So that's an option.
And then gardening. Getting into where you can use your hands so that it's not your feet that feel all weird. And you can, as soon as you're done with your 10, 15 minutes of gardening for the day, for your quota, you can go ahead and wash your hands and it feels very normal.
There's also grounding mats. If you're like, I'm not going outside, and maybe the winter is wintering where you are, and you're like, do I really want to put my hands or feet in the elements? You can get grounding mats. There's a website that we've gotten grounding mats from called earthing.com. And I love them. So when you're working, when you're sleeping, when you're doing dishes or whatever, you just bring it with you and
plugs into your wall and
your wall outlet.
That's it.
That's it. You grounding, child. There you go. So
pardon me.
Work. So as a part of really getting the most out of your movement, these are just some pro tips that you can utilize. They're optional, but they do help with lowering inflammation. And I'll leave the rest to you.
Awesome sauce.
And I'm gonna go with Omi so she's ready to move.
I'm just watching Coach Tensi not trip over all of the stuff that we have in this studio. It's not a studio, but it's an office. It's great. It's great. She has great technique.
We got a new playpen.
Yes.
Oh, I moved it out of the way. Got it. Go ahead.
Yep. So last but not least, breath work in regard to recovery and relaxation is another low intensity yet very beneficial move day focus for us on this podcast. And that's what we're going to talk about now before we close out. So first of all, your breath is your connection to consciousness. And I put air quotes over consciousness because obviously there is almost two types of consciousness. And I'm being very loose with my words right now in terms of like scientifically or even spiritually using this terminology. You do not want to say it how I'm saying it right now in certain circles, but for general understanding, this should suffice. There are two kind of types of consciousness. One of them is your alertness, and then one of them is the consciousness that is your sort of life and is life itself. And so I'm not talking about the bigger, more broader life itself consciousness. I'm talking about your connection to, I am here, I am alive, I feel myself, I feel my environment, I feel the difference between what is me and my body and what is other than my body. That consciousness, your connection to that is your breath, right? You hold your breath for too long, the first thing that starts to go is not your brain activity, it's not your heartbeat, it's your consciousness, it's your alertness. You start to fade in consciousness. Your brain is still working and moving and firing off all of these signals and trying to figure out what's happening, what's wrong. Your heart is still beating. In fact, your heart won't stop beating for a little while. But if you're choking or you can't breathe for 4 minutes, you will lose consciousness. And so your breath is your connection to that. And when you do breath exercises, you are tapping into a way to master how you are in consciousness, how you are in your alert, awake, dynamic consciousness. And how we know that is because when someone is a regular practitioner of breath work and these type of things, when they get excited or jump scared or something like that, they don't automatically start losing their breath. Okay, there is a spiritual upgrade that occurs when you have a certain level of mastery over your breath. What this may mean for you or for those who practice, various forms of breath work, is that you can remain calm when things don't go your way and when things get dangerous or shocking, which is amazing. And that's the spiritual side. And then so for your everyday routine, when things get stressful, also, if you have a certain level of mastery over your breath, then you won't necessarily start breathing yourself into a bad mood. I don't know, you know, let me know in the comments if you noticed, but we have a way of, when things get stressful, actually breathing our body into a bad mood, into the stress, the cortisol stress mode. And so, a good exercise to practice every day to make sure that you have a certain level, or you one day attain a certain level of mastery over your breathing and over your consciousness, your state of being, is the 4-part breath. In for a certain amount of seconds, let's say 8 seconds, in for 8 seconds, hold for 8 seconds, release for 8 seconds, hold for 8 more. Right? And you can also change up like your inhale can be longer or shorter than your exhale, vice versa. Things like that. Your hold after the out breath can be shorter or longer than your hold after the in breath. But a 4-part breath is a super duper easy exercise that you can do every single day, multiple times a day, and it won't disrupt your patterns at all. You'll be able to stack it on top of other habits or times at work, and you don't even have to close your eyes, but you do have to have a certain level of focus, and you just breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. And you do that, over and over again. And that's it, guys. That's all we have for you for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. For those of you who don't know, I am an author, and this is my book. It's called Culture Control: Why the Love of Money is Objectively the Root of All Evil. And in this book, you learn a whole lot about human nature, my journey through utter bullshit, the essence of good and evil, the essence of culture, the essence of control. All of these things you will learn, how the manipulators of the world are impacting your average man, i.e. you. Okay, your average man, woman. And what type of thought patterns and what type of community engagement you can do to start to reverse the effects of that control, that culture control that they, keep over the general population. Also, be on the lookout for the link for our event on January 20th. It's called Thrive Zone, and it's going to be really, really exciting. An amazing event where we pair knowledge like what's in my book, Culture Control, okay, how we're influenced every day and who's doing it and how we can be free, with a community event where you can bring your kids. There's going to be a whole kids corner full of activities, including dance breaks and drawing and an art wall and all of these different things. And we're also going to, for the people that are buying the tickets, for the adults in the room, have a concert, have a meditation session and sound bath, have a movement session where we all get to move together and we bring the kids back and we all moved at the same time in the same place. An amazing, amazing event. And like I said, lastly, the reflection circle, which will last for 1 hour. It's a little 1 hour workshop where we will go into, no, the reflection circle is an hour. Where we will go into the the freedom aspect of everything and how to become one with each other. Very, very, very good stuff. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will catch you tomorrow for Shine Day. Peace.